So we're often asked what are the differences between the agricultural telescopic and the construction telescopic. So we're just going to go through now the major differences between the two. Behind me here I've got an MLT 735, so the agricultural telescopic, and then on the other side here we've got the MT 932, so the construction telescopic. So in general, the agricultural telescopic has a more powerful engine than the construction telescopic. We're generally working in harder conditions for longer hours, often handling heavier materials like manure, repeated operations, backwards and forwards, loading trailers. So generally the construction telescopic, lower engine power. On this particular example we've got the MT 932. It's a Deutz 100 horsepower engine. So here on the MLT 735, again it's a Deutz engine. On this particular model it's the 3B Deutz with the DPF. So this is a 120 horsepower engine. Everything which concerns engine cooling and oil cooling is more high performance on the agricultural telescopics. Again, for the same reasons, harder work cycles, dusty conditions, hay and straw falling on the bonnet in the field. So we've got a more sophisticated cooling system on this particular model. So on the MLT 735 3B we have what we call fan drive. So it's a hydraulically driven ventilation system for cooling the radiators. Basically, it has the automatic fan reversal, so every 3 minutes the hydraulic motor will reverse the direction of the fan and blow out the radiator, and that lasts for about 30 seconds. So that will happen automatically every 3 minutes. And we've also got on these machines the variable speed fan, so it'll take into account different sensors that are on the machine. The oil temperature, the water temperature, the outside air temperature, and it will regulate the fan speed accordingly, so that we're using a minimum of power but at the same time getting the optimum cooling performance. On the construction machine it's a much more basic system. We'll just have a look at that now. So back to the MT 932, it looks the same. It is still, on this particular model, a hydraulic drive ventilation system, but it's not got the reversible fan and it's not got the variable speed fan. So now we're in the MT 932, the construction machine. So we generally have transmission systems which are less sophisticated than on the agricultural machines. So if you see on this particular model we've got the mechanical 4-speed gearbox, what we call the power shuttle. And we'll see if we go over now to the agricultural machine, we've got more sophisticated transmission systems. So now we're in the MLT 735 agricultural telescopic. So we've got a bigger choice of transmission systems, and at the top end we've got the more sophisticated transmissions. So we can start at the bottom of the range with the 4-speed mechanical gearbox. There are also hydrostatic possibilities like on the MLT 625 or on the MLT 845. And then again on this particular model then on the MLT 735 we've got the option of having the power shift gearbox. So we've got the plus and minus button here on the JSM, so that allows us to go up and down through the gears on the move for a full continuous torque. So we've got basically higher spec transmission systems. So here on the MT 932 construction telescopic, we'll just have a look at the differences between the cab finish between the construction version and the agricultural version. As a general rule, the construction version is a bit more basic. So here, for example, we've got a seat which is a plastic finish on a sprung system. There's no radio as standard, and there's no sun blinds on the windscreens as standard either. So we've got a higher level of, much higher level of seat quality. So on a cloth seat with a headrest, it's a fully pneumatic adjustment system, which you can adapt to your own body weight. So you get the optimum suspension system in the seat as you're driving over rough terrain. You've got the radio as standard, and you've also got the sun blinds on the roof and on the front windscreen as standard. In terms of the doors, there's a difference in the doors as well. On the MT 932 and 732, the bottom of the door is just a metal plate, whereas here on the agricultural version it's glass. If we look at the cab as well on the MLT, the agricultural telescopic, we've got the work lights on top of the cab, and in terms of tyres, we're on agricultural spec tyres, so we've got wider tyres on this telescopic than on the 932. So here on the 932, narrower tyres, and there's no work lights on the top of the cab. So we've also got another difference between the construction telescopic and the agricultural telescopic. It's in terms of the tipping angle. We'll consider that in general on an agricultural telescopic we need to be able to tip further to empty out the bucket, especially when we're dealing with sticky materials like manure. So the two systems are slightly different. Here on the MT 932, so the construction telescopic, you'll notice that the ram is directly connected to the tipping system. There's no intermediate link here. If we have a look now on the MLT 735, so on the MLT 735 you've got this linkage between the end of the ram here and here. So you've got an extra linkage compared to the construction telescopic. This is allowing you to tip the bucket then further than on the construction telescopic, so helping you to tip out sticky loads and to unload a bucket faster. So this extra linkage is typical to agricultural machines. You'll find it on the MLT 634, on the MLT 735, the 741, the 840, the 845 and the 1040. So another difference is on the head of the boom. You'll notice that here on the MLT, agricultural telescopic, the angle here is different, so it's made to be a loading telescopic. If we look at the angle on the 932, you can see the angle is not the same, it's a straighter angle. So the other major difference between the construction telescopic and the agricultural telescopics is the hydraulic pump. Again, on the agricultural telescopic we're generally going to have a higher performance hydraulic pump for faster movements and combined movements. Here on the MT 932 it's 104 litre per minute gear pump without load sensing. On the MLT 735, 120 horsepower, it's a 140 litre pump. It's a variable piston pump, and it is also load sensing. So that means you can do combined movements on the JSM joystick, and both movements will happen at the same time. So we've got a far higher performance of hydraulic movements. At the rear of the machine, the MLT would generally be equipped with more hydraulic lines and electrical circuits. So on this particular example, we're on an agricultural telescopic here. We've got the trailer lights the hydraulic line for hydraulic braking on the trailer, and then extra hydraulic lines here, double acting lines, if you want to, for example, have trailer tipping. So on the MT932, there's nothing on the back, so there's no trailer lights or trailer braking. It is possible to have them as an option. So the maximum forward speed of the two machines is different too. On the MT932, so it's a standard cab, and the forward speed will be limited to 25 kilometers an hour. On the MLT 735, so it's a wide cab, tractor norm cab, so it enables the machine to go up to 40 kilometers an hour.